Welcome to the Kotak workshop. It's been a while since the last video, but we've been busy. We've got some new equipment, a bit new tech, and ready to show you something quite interesting. One of the most successful videos on this channel was the Angus of Menstrie roll top desk, and we've got another roll top. It's not an Angus of Menstrie, but similar sort of period, and we're asked to repair the tambour, which I'll show you how we did, and then a light restoration, so still retaining some of the dings and pings of its history, but giving it a good clean up, repairing some of the damage and getting it ready to go back for many years of happy service. So I hope you enjoy. Today's video is especially for my dad. He's been recovering from some surgery and he's been asking me when's the next video coming out, so finally it's here. This one's for you, Dad. Hope you enjoy. The first thing we have to do before starting the restoration though is tidying up this workshop, because it was an absolute mess, and a clean workshop is a safe workshop and a clean workshop is an efficient workshop, so I have to get it tidied before we can start. So here I am lifting the desktop onto the workbench and really trying to get a good look at it and see what needs to be done. So a few scratches on the surface, these bays cleaned up, top. Some scratches in here. There's your classic coffee stain or watermark. Now we've had a good look at it, what I want to do is separate the top from the desktop. So here we go, we fold it down and get a good look inside. Here is the latch mechanism, and you can see that it's spring-loaded, and that's what's been causing all of those scratch mark problems. So this has been scraped and scratched and hacked at, so I'm going to take this out and clean up the brass. So these lines here look like they are a veneer that's lifting. Yeah, you can really see it there. So obviously what I'm worried about is then this is a thin veneer, not solid wood. So I just want to be careful as I'm cleaning it up, which adds to the idea of not sanding heavily. You're just taking the surface off there. So good old clean up with the Scotch-Brite, and then a bit of wax remover, because I can detect that there's a bit of wax on the surface there, but not much. So this is it just cleaned up, and I haven't put anything else on it yet, but you can see the scratches are a lot better, and you can see we still have some of the original marks, and it's just a judgment, do I keep going and get rid of those? But actually, from a distance, I think this looks like a traditional desk. There's a few patches there that will come out with the finish, but yeah, that's looking lovely. So this is some wood stain, oil-based stain, and just brings out the colour beautifully. Take the tambour out and move it out and have a look, see the damage. Okay, so this is the underside, and as I was saying, it isn't cloth, but this is string that's nailed in, and then the string goes threaded through all the way along to here. And the string on this side that goes all the way through. To here. multiple signs of hammered in wire. In the middle, there's wire, but it clearly is broken in a couple of places, so it's not continuous. Broken here. So, if I pull the wire out and replace it with string, I think if these ones are sound at the side, I don't need to replace them. But this middle bit, do I replace it with wire or string? Wire or string? Okay, so the string had snapped, and you can now see the wire in a couple of different places. So I think that this has been repaired before, because these are just sort of loosely hammered in, and that doesn't look like what the original manufacturer would have done. This has been done several times, and a little bit of research suggests that perhaps string isn't the best, and actually what we want to do is get some wire, relatively thick gauge, something like piano wire. So, trip to the hardware store. Okay, I've got some fairly heavy gauge wire. What I've done is put some heavy duty glue at the end so that it's rounded and keeps the wires together so it doesn't fray. And what we're going to do is rewire all three, take out the old wire and the old string and get it back together. So it's a fairly straightforward job, just threading it through the holes. So this negates the need to build a frame at the side. I chose to staple the wire down using about 5 staples, which I then hammered into place. I could have tried some other mechanism locked into those holes, but given that it's going to be hidden, I felt I wanted something strong, but also ultimately one day repairable and replaceable as well. And here it is, one repaired tambour. Give it a clean. I'm going to use a bit of oil-based wood stain just to get into the nooks and crannies. Then I clean up the shelf spaces. A lot of dust from this, but actually came up beautifully. Okay, so it's looking a lot cleaner, and I've cleaned the brasses up and put in a little fitting. I haven't sanded it to oblivion, so there's still natural scratches or older scratches. I've taken off some of the surface ones, particularly around here where there'd been a lot of scratching to try and open the lock. What I'm going to do now is put on a little bit of hard wax oil and get it ready for polishing. But I think that's looking a lot tidier. So it looks quite glossy at the moment, but that's just because it's still wet. But this is hard wax oil, and it's just a really thin layer all the way in the grain. It's really coming alive. What do you think? Quality inspection? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy with that? Here's somebody new. Look at this. There's Maya. Hello, Maya.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Yeah. So what I've done is take very high grit paper and just with the grain rubbed to take any of the little bumps and nits out, making it just super smooth. Bit of quality control here. There we go. Very good. So in time-honoured fashion, I'm going to use some 4/0 soft wire wool, shoe polish brush, and some Gilboy's Antique Gold. Really good beeswax. And I'm going to put that all over, probably in sections, let it sit for 20 minutes and then buff it up. I'm just using this bristle brush to feed into all the little crevices. Now it comes to the part that actually brings it to life, which is buffing it up. And of course a soft cloth is what you want, but for something like this, this is a game changer. Just having a brush on the end there makes such a big difference. So for large areas, so you can see I've left some of the original ink stains because that's probably older than I am. So I wanted to leave some of the character, but we got rid of all the scratches that were around here, although we left a little bit of character behind. So there you have it, a sensitively restored and repaired roller top desk from probably about 1910, somewhere around there, and ready to go back to its owner. Hope you enjoyed.